What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. Kind of a quicker announcement today. On a more solemn note, I don't normally report the passings of people in Hollywood normally. But when it has cultural significance in terms of pop culture, I think it's worth reporting. And this one is kind of double-edged because Peter Robbins has long battled with mental health. And, as you know, I have my own issues, as do many people. Anytime there's an opportunity to talk about it, let people know that they're not alone, I feel like I have to take that opportunity. So if you don't know who Peter Robbins is, he's actually the original voice of Charlie Brown. He had a long career early on and hasn't been really involved in many projects since, but he's an icon in many ways. For boomers, millennials, Gen Z, not Gen Z probably, Gen X, they all remember what it was like watching Charlie Brown Christmas, Charlie Brown, all the specials, and the Chex Mix commercials. Well, Peter Robbins was the original voice of Charlie Brown, and he worked on, Charlie Brown Christmas, It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and other issues and other projects. Peter Robbins, who voiced Charlie Brown in the original run of television specials, has passed at the age of 65. The former child actor brought to life the character in the 1960s productions, including A Charlie Brown Christmas and It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Robbins, whose real name is Louis G. Nanasi, was born back in 1956 in LA, began acting when he was 7, made guest appearances on the shows like The Munsters, which still holds up, by the way, The Donna Reed Show. In 1963, he appeared in the first Peanuts special, A Boy Named Charlie Brown. He voiced the iconic character 7 times, and when he was just 14, he was replaced by a younger actor. But Charlie Brown remained close to Robbins' heart. He even had a Charlie Brown and Snoopy tattoo on his arm. Robbins also had a recurring role in the television series Blondie and appeared in an episode of Get Smart and the F Troop. He acted in the 1967 Sonny and Cher film Good Times. Robbins retired from acting back in 1972 and then went on to graduate from the University of California, San Diego, and he worked in real estate with also brief stints as a radio DJ. Robbins' family told Fox 5 that the actor had passed by self-infliction. He had been vocal about his battles with mental health, including his diagnosis with bipolar. Obviously, I'm no doctor, but bipolar can be very, very difficult to manage. Without medication, people, feel like they're good, so they stop taking the meds and then they get bad. It's tough. If you've ever known anybody who is bipolar, it is, selfishly, I'll say, extraordinarily difficult to remain, to handle at times, but often, I find, the relationships that you have to work the hardest for, those are the ones that matter the most. It's also very difficult for those who deal with it. And really, if you look at his career, he had recently just finished a documentary at ABQ Comic-Con. He had been on The Tonight Show back in 2005. Did another documentary in 2001, A Making of Charlie Brown Christmas. You Don't Look 40, Charlie Brown, a 40th anniversary special. He had been relatively quiet since the 60s and 70s. I don't even know. I think I know my viewers enough. Pretty much everyone here is going to know who Charlie Brown is and who Snoopy is. Maybe these shows we didn't watch. A lot of these shows are a little before my time. I mean, I watched the Munsters reruns, obviously. And then F Troop was kind of before my time. That was the late 60s. Well, it's definitely before my time. But Get Smart, Blondie, these are all shows that are a little bit before my time. But they're shows that I watched with my dad, who was born in the 50s, one of my dads, born in the 50s. And he liked these shows a lot. He grew up with them. And so I stick around. Even Andy Griffith, into Matlock. I loved Matlock, loved Andy Griffith. And so, and I have a huge personal affinity to Charlie Brown because it's kind of like one of those memories that, I don't know, like always superseded everything. I don't have a great memory, long-term memory. I don't know why that is. Maybe I burned it all away with the oregano over my life, but I don't really have any memories from elementary school, middle school, even really high school. I don't remember much from it. But I always remember Charlie Brown, and I couldn't probably tell you the last time I saw like The Great Pumpkin or Charlie Brown Christmas. Probably 20 years, and I still remember them. And obviously Charlie's voice iconic. And I thought, while covering this, it's an opportunity to talk about mental health. I'm no professional. I have struggles of my own, obviously. I've been open about that. But anytime something like this happens, it's important to me. I've experienced people several times choosing to opt out of life, including an event that happened when I was, I think, probably 30. Showed up for work, and a guy that worked in the building was literally hanging from the tree. It was something I'll never unsee, it's I know I have a large audience, and I know 50,000 people watch this video, and at least some decent amount of them will have their own struggles in life, whether it's mental health or it's just the struggle. The struggle is real, especially right now, especially if you live in like the Midwest where it's just bone-chillingly cold. Everything's getting more expensive. Waking up early, you're sore when you go to bed, you're sore when you get up, you're sore during the day. Just life will grind even the strongest people down at some point. When you add to that struggles with mental health, it becomes even more of a grind. And life will grind you down if you let it. And you need people in your life that will inspire you or tell you that, look, tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is a day to look forward to. It might not be better, it might not be worse, but it probably won't be today. And you need people who are willing to talk. I have a Gilded. It's a different company than Discord. I don't like Discord. They're censorious. Not that Gilded is ran by, I think Roblox owns them. So they're not exactly some up and coming, indie chat room, but it's a smaller community because not a lot of people want to install another software to talk. But, I always tell people you can email me. But the other thing is, if you want people to talk to, I find that my community, that is you I'm talking about, are amazing people, men and women of all ages that, sometimes just want somebody to talk to. It's hard to, I have a lot of truckers that listen to me and they're out there on the open road. It's hard to really form relationships, unless you're on CB. I suppose now it's, the internet, but still, it's hard to find people who are into the same things as you, and that can be alienating. And I know, if you go to my link tree, which is always linked in my description, there's a link to join my Gilded, and the people there are awesome. And, I know it's annoying if you already use Discord to install some of this, but it works exactly the same, has the same voice chat and stuff. I just don't want to support like an SJW company, which is what Discord is. And, you'll find people in my community. I'm proud of my community because you'll find people in it who are super kind, really interesting, and want to talk. And I think that whether or not you're in a tough spot, you should join communities of people like this. And I'm really proud of mine. So maybe if you find yourself wanting somebody to talk, or you want to, just talk about the things that you like, join my Gilded. Again, it's just like Discord, and talk to people. You'd be surprised how quickly you can form relationships. And even if you don't see the person face to face, you'll find people there who have things in common, and hopefully that'll make things a little easier for you. We can even do we can create a room for private rooms that are for mental health discussions and things like that. So, topics like, I didn't know Peter Robbins. I'm not going to cry about it, but when it's a mental health issue, it is personal to me, and I like to take that opportunity to talk to my viewers about it. So you've got people who care, and if you don't, you can find them, and don't give up. So I hope you were informed by this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.